You can find things like string around your house, and just by pushing the string into your clay and using your fingers to add some pressure, you can do some interesting textures this way. Think about pattern, think about repetition, maybe going outside and finding things to push into your clay like this pine cone. Here's my little pinch pot. Now I'm going to show you some additive methods. So we're going to do the fungus application. You can take a small piece of clay, start to pinch it out lengthwise, roll it on your table to thin it out, and then you can break it into little pieces, these crescent shapes. And I do not have to score and slip these. If I were just going to stick them on like that and leave them, then I would score and slip. But since I'm going to be using my finger and smushing this clay and really blending it into the wall of the pot, then I don't have to score and slip because I've essentially made it become part of the wall. So I can layer these, and I usually will start at the top and work my way to the bottom. Kind of pinch them out, shape them. And if I wanted to, I could leave them just like this and have that cool kind of finger texture inside. Or you can take your pin tool and do the heavy line texture that was on the green pot that I just showed you. So I kind of go in the direction of the piece, so I'm following that curve. You can also do thumb type shapes that you pinch out and you blend into the wall. These also do not have to be scored and slipped, so I'm kind of pinching the clay to form around my thumb. I can decide where I start, and again, I'm smoothing them into the pot. You want to be careful when you do these types of applications that when you rewrap your work in plastic, you are a little bit looser so that way you don't accidentally break these off when you remove the plastic bag. You can just keep adding as many as you want. This is another textured piece that I feel like looks a little bit like stone, or like a rough rock texture. And you can create this by pinching and smoothing. So again, I'll just take off pieces of clay and kind of shape them into organic pieces that have kind of like sharp edges. And I'll do different sizes. Figure out my placement, and then I will again smooth into the wall really well so it doesn't have to be scored and slipped. If you were just placing these on and not doing that smushing or smoothing application, you would have to score and slip these, or they would fall off as your piece dries out. You can also cut shapes out of a slab of clay. So maybe I'm going to do petals or leaf shapes. And I like to pinch these out so they don't have that sharp edge, because if you looked at a real leaf or a real petal, they don't have sharp edges. Then you can curve them and bend them to make them look more realistic. These need to be scored and slipped because you're just taking a shape and you're attaching to the surface. So roughing up that surface really well, roughing up the portion of the petal. There's my slip. A little bit on the petal. You don't need to add a lot of slip. Push down to get it to stick. Applying some pressure, smoothing down some edges. And then I will use my modeling knife, the curved portion, and just grab a little bit of the clay from the leaf and smooth it down into the pot. That assures a really great attachment.